Sup everyone, XUW YLOW82 80s here, and today we're racing at Fuji for one of the manufacturer races in the Group 3 category. So I'm driving the Alpha in this one. And a rolling start, as it is mostly the case in the manufacturer series. Only a few exceptions. As we can see in P3 we have Derek, one of the very quick drivers of GT Sport, one of the top drivers I would say. In P6 Hyena's Sabo, Widow in P8, and we are starting this race in P9. Ghosty Rasgris in P10. And one of our countrymen in P13. Another one of our countrymen in P15. So a lot of Belgians in this race. So we have Spark43, good buddy of ours, in P18, and the Aston Martin. So as we get this race underway, rolling start, and in this race very crucial to save fuel. So we have to be very careful to not use up too much fuel, as we have cold tires in the first corner, which causes us immediately to go wide. But we managed to just keep on track, but we just lose a little bit of time, and the cars behind us just close up very quickly. So crucial right now to catch back up to the cars in front. As we can see, somebody going wide, Hyena's Sabo in the Mercedes, goes back on track, but as you know, 30 tires he will have, so a bit less grip for him. So we'll see him struggle into the next few corners. So let's try to go for a move, but we just get nudged from behind, which just cut us up, and just managed to keep on track, but still managed to continue. So probably a bit too late on the brakes from the car behind, which just caused a bit of contact. But we all managed to get away with that one. So a lot of penalties behind us as well, it seems like, but looks like it didn't have too much of an impact for this race. As we can see, the Porsche going to the inside. So down a position we go. Very curious to see that he was going for that move, because he had a 1.5 second penalty. But after the race we could see he had soft tires, so that's maybe why he decided to go for that. But still find it quite risky to do, because if you have a 1.5 second penalty, you're going to lose a lot of time, and to try and go for a pass stand, a bit risky I would say, but it still worked out okay. For the incident in the first lap, we just just got a bit hit, and we just had to save it, but that cost you so much time. I don't think it was really anyone's fault, because I was trying to go back through the inside to try and go for an overtake onto the Mercedes, and maybe the car behind us thought I would stay onto the outside. So a bit of a racing incident. So you can see the cars behind side by side, so they're battling a lot, so that means that we can run away from them. Put a bit of a gap towards P10, so that we are don't have to worry too much about the cars behind. And we have started on the normal tires as well, so we have to use the softs and the normal tires in this race. So relatively we're using the harder tires. So we'll just see us struggle a bit more onto this stint, so hopefully we can make some moves happen onto the second part of the race after the pit stops. So what we're going to try and do right now is to try and keep up with the cars in front in the first place, and then try to save as much fuel as we can, if we manage to catch them back up. But looks like they are battling for P7, so that managed to gain us some time, and seems like we managed to more or less catch up with them. So we're going to go a bit forward into the video, onto lap 7, so we have spent the last 4 laps behind the cars in front of us, trying to save as much fuel as we can by short shifting mostly. So hopefully that helps us to try and push a bit more into the final part of the race. So you can see the cars behind us have managed to catch back up. The Belgian, Julian Fu, he was onto the soft tires. So that's why he managed to make up so much time, as he just ran to the back of us, it seems like. But we still managed to stay on track. It seems like we got a 1 second penalty for it. Yeah, very easy to do if you're onto the soft tires, to just brake a bit later, because you have more grip, you can take more speed into the corner, so it's also easier to run to the back of someone who is onto a harder compounded tire. As you can see him serve his penalty behind us. So on to lap 8 already. So now we have to try and catch back up with the cars in front. I think we're just about still in the slipstream. So still close enough to manage to save fuel to the straights. As we are onto lap 8 right now, so we're going to do a stop at the end of this lap and try to do 12 laps onto the soft tires, so that hopefully we can do an undercut onto the cars in front of us. So let's hope that we'll manage to gain us some position in this race. Because these normal tires are starting to get quite old. Tire wear is also quite high in this race. So let's hope we can gain some positions out of the undercut we're going to try. And let's hope it works as well. And we're not going to refuel, because I think we have saved enough fuel to go to the end. I don't know what the other cars will do. Maybe they'll just put a bit more fuel in to be certain to get to the end of the race. Here we are, into the pits. So we drove as safe as possible to the right, so that we could take as much speed as we could to the through the chicane into the pit stop. Seems like we were one of the first cars to go into the pits, only followed by the Swiss guy. So that seems to have dropped us down the field, down to P17. But the others still always a pit stop. So really crucial right now to get a good lap. Try to take the most benefit as possible into these new soft tires. If the others are fighting or struggling onto their weared out normal tires, it would gain us a lot of time. As well, be cautious in this lap with our fuel usage. We don't want to run out of fuel in the last lap, that would be horrible. But it's so easy to do, to just use a bit too much fuel, and then you will really struggle at the end of the race. So at the end of lap 9 right now, we can see a lot more people into the pits. All from normal tires as well, it seems like. And where will we going to come out? See some cars leaving the pit lane. As we have in front of us, MP11, Mr. Jam Lover. So that's someone we didn't really see on track before. And behind us we have Jane and Sabo, so that was the guy that was right in front of us before the pit stop, so it seems like we have managed to gain some track position. So I'm just going to save a bit of fuel behind the Porsche, so you can see just how much time we have managed to gain onto the Hungarian guy behind us by taking the tires a lap earlier. So let's hope that will put us right into the mix to get some more position in this race. So you can see the front cars into the pits from the soft tires, so they managed to do 10 laps on them. So let's hope we didn't stretch it too far to try and go for 12 laps onto the soft tires now. So it might be a bit of a struggle at the end of the race. But we might have some track position by trying to undercut the other cars. Seems like we're going to come out behind the Aston Martin, I think, of Ricard. So P7 it is after the pit stops, it seems like. So 2 positions we already gained, and right now a lot of cars in front of us are onto the normal tires. So I think we're in a very good position. Still 8 more laps to go after this one, so still some time to make up positions. As we can see in front of us, the Porsche with a half-second penalty. Just a bit too far over the track limits, I think, which gave it a penalty. As you have to serve it onto a long straight, very costly for the Porsche driver. So we're going to stay into the slipstream of Ricard. We know that the car in front would ghost. Still always very scary to do, but I think it's worth it because we have to save our fuel. So we can stay into the slipstream and save more fuel. And it's worked out this time to count on the ghosting of Gran Turismo. And there we can see in front of us, P3 into the distance. So might the podium still be a possibility in this race? That would be very awesome if we manage to pull that off. So right behind Ricard right now, but I'm not. Will we make a move onto this hairpin? Going to try around the outside. Obviously we want to make a move on him, but not into corners where we're going to lose a lot of time. And as well it would cost a lot more fuel if you have to do it into the corners, because you need a good exit as well. So you really need to push them to try and gain that position. But we don't want to use too much fuel. As Ricard just went 2 wheels onto the grass and just a bit slipping around. He just managed to catch it. So let's try to go for a move side by side. Seems like the Porsche is not close enough to capitalize on her belly here. And it seems like the Italian didn't make too much of a fight of it. I think he has normal tires as well. So up we go, up to P5. So let's now try to catch up to the cars in front. And our soft tires are still quite fresh, quite crucially. So I want to make the move on P4 and P3 as quickly as possible. Because if we wait too long, our tires will be a bit wet enough already. Seems like they're both battling as well. And now Hyundai goes up to P3. So very good for us because we already have a system with a Toyota right now. And back to the long straight. Can we try go for an overtake onto the Toyota? Into a slipstream. We know how quick the Toyota is onto the straight, but you just don't know how much fuel these cars have to save. So side by side, but we have soft tires, so maybe we can brake a bit later on him if he has the normal tires. So try to stay to the inside. And with the better traction, we just managed to get up to P4. So let's now try to close up as quickly as possible to the car in P3. So it seems like we're making good progress with our strategy of the soft tires. You can also see P2 into the distance. So not too far away from him. But it's Gr.3 very quick driver. But he has the McLaren F1 car, which I think will struggle a bit onto the corners. So will P2 still be a possibility in this race? But first you have to deal with P3 of course. So onto the long straight we go once again. So trying to push a bit more to try and go for an overtake onto the straight. We managed to do it. Seems like we can just go through the inside of the Hyundai. And we're going to keep to the inside. And it seems like we just managed to get our P3 position. But we're still a bit under pressure from the Hyundai behind us. I just make a big mistake to just cut the corner a bit short. And that will, that's a penalty. 1 second. That's a frustrating mistake. Just still a bit felt the pressure of the grid behind us, which caused us to make that small mistake, and big consequences, because once they take a penalty, we know how much time that loses you onto this track. And with it probably goes our opportunity to go for second position still. Could have been a nice battle with Derek in front of us, but sadly it does seem like it's meant to be to still get some more positions in this race. But we'll manage to keep our third position after this penalty. I think we have quite a big gap. Maybe it's still a possibility. Let's see. So just have to leave enough room for the cars behind, but it just cost us too much time to go from not much speed to try and accelerate back up to pace. So quite crucial mistake. So back down to P5. We have burned a lot of fuel as well by doing all these overtakes, so yeah, we have to start back in behind to try and save some fuel now. And also our tires are not getting any newer by this stage of the race. So back down to P5, we will have to choose our moment of overtaking wisely. Guess not a lot of fuel left for us. Maybe if both of us start battling a bit, maybe we can find somewhere an opportunity to try and stick our nose as well, to gain a position. Normally the Supra a bit faster onto the straight as well as the Hyundai, but we just don't know how much fuel they both have to save. If the Hyundai can go flat out to the straights and the Toyota has to save fuel, it will be quite impossible for the Toyota to try and go for an overtake. Seems like Toyota is a bit struggling into the corners. Looks like his braking lights are always flickering as well once he leaves the corner. That's also an issue I sometimes experience with my pedals. So just that the brake seems to get some false signals, which is quite frustrating and also a bit distracting as well. But I don't think it costs you too much time, because he's still in P4 as well. But yeah, definitely very distracting to see your brake lights appear after some corners. As you can see, the Italian going to try and move onto the bit guy, but yeah, didn't really pay off this time. So it seems like the battle in front of us is quite heating up right now. And we're still saving fuel. As we can see, trying to go to the inside. So side by side they go. We try to get a good exit out of the corner, but our tires quite said no, so we have to stay in P5 for now. It seems like this battle is really starting to kick off. So for us it's right now to really try and get the right opportunity to try and gain a position out of it as well. Really have my thoughts set to save a bit more fuel towards the end, so we can try and go more or less full out onto the final lap of the race, when it really counts. So 2 more laps. So you can see Toyota gaining a lot more time to the grid, but yeah, late defense by him. That has slowed down the Toyota a little bit, so back down to P4 for him. So we'll come out on top, and the cars behind us are closing in as well by the belly in front of us. So let's hope to not lose any positions. Once they get too close, it might be risky that we're going to drop down a bit further. If you're just at the wrong place in the corner, they just might be able to sneak up from the inside. So that's not what we want. We really want to stay in P5 or higher, but we really want to have the opportunity, if they both are battling, to try and go for an overtake as well. Small mistake by the Italian, but he just managed to save it. And onto the final lap we go, so we're really going to push now. This is the main overtaking opportunity in this race, the long straight, so you can see the cars behind us. Also, yeah, right behind. So we really have to push right now to try and get an overtake after this long straight. So your boy closing into the Hyundai. The Italian going to the outside, but last moment to the inside, he gets covered off by the Brit. So let's try to go around the outside. Braking very late. Can we just make the corner? Yeah, it seems like we do. But we just get run off by the Hyundai. Very frustrating. And down to P6 we go, sadly. Yeah, quite risky maneuver to go around the outside, but we didn't get space from the Brit, so yeah, quite frustrating, and we dropped down to P6. Yeah, the Brit did apologize after the race, but yeah, we just didn't get enough space to make the move. I think if we just had a car's width of space, that we had been able to go for third position, because the next car was to the inside. I think we just would have managed to get our car into P3. And also I didn't want to back out, because we saw that the gap was closing, but we just decided to keep our foot in. But yeah, it just didn't work out, it seemed like, as the battle is still heating up in front of us. And the Mercedes going up to P4, seems like. And we didn't manage to capitalize on the battles in front of us, so seems like we want to finish in P6, so a bit disappointing. I think we could have managed to get P3 for certain. So yeah, still gained some positions, but yeah, still frustrating ending to the race. So thank you guys for watching, hopefully see you next time. Bye.